Woolkin is a New Zealand company combining a passion for wool and a talent for design to create a range of products for babies and toddlers. They're also looking at collaborative ventures with companies working to replace other product lines currently dominated by oil-based plastics.
Woolkin is a little kids nursery and toddler company, and we design products to really enrich the lives of young people, and we do that using materials because we believe materials really matter. And we bring a real design sensibility to those materials. So we create really fun and engaging products that kind of really help like the first years, like first sort of 1,000 days of a kid's life. And we think wool's got a really beautiful story to play in that, but also design and innovation that can really help the lives of young people. A lot of things sort of came together to make the business. On one journey, we were exploring the properties of wool and sort of in quite a pure way, just sort of thinking, hey, what could we do with wool? And on another journey, we were all starting to have our families. So, we're in that stage in our life. And that actually came together in the first product, which is a sleep nest, which is a sort of baby sleep nest environment. And that really kicked us off. Wool is a really awesome material. At a very basic level, it's one of the true natural materials that we have. And then it's got all of these sort of underneath the surface, like inside that fibre, there's all these beautiful properties. So, it's kind of natural, it's kind of breathable, it's really tactile, it's very similar to our own hair, so we've got a human relationship with it. And then from a process point of view, it's like one of the first real natural bioplastics. When it comes to thinking about the product, there's several starting points. When we got into the kind of our extension and we sort of moved from sleep and into play, we sort of openly explore like what could the next idea be, and we bring all of that thinking together. The first toy was Brave Dave and the Big Red Tractor, and they were really, like from a New Zealand kind of farming, or at least I guess a New Zealand centric point of view, like a tractor, with sort of the history and stories of, say, Sir Ed crossing the Antarctic and like all the farmers and kids growing up on farm. Like the tractor's a very bold symbol of kind of like who we were when we pioneered our country. And then the fire engine's like the quintessential classic, right? So the inspiration for those two were just looking at like key symbols that were in that playroom, and most of them are all nowadays made in high volume, plastic, cheap, and we spent too many parties going to, other friends, little kids' birthday parties and seeing gifts being given, and then, a few days later or whatnot, they're broken. With Vulcan, we're using a range of wool types. So our journey started largely with merino, and our whole aspiration, even from early on, has been to provide a range of products made with right across the wool spectrum. So we're really on the journey now to kind of come down into the kind of higher micron, so kind of crossbred wool, and even real kind of coarse and carpet wool. We have a lot of conversations with growers, came from the farm, still got family farming, so that's pretty deep. We're sourcing at the moment in a bulk form, and that's just again allowed us to get moving quickly. We know where that wool comes from, like there's full traceability of where that, what farm it's coming from. But our next step is really, down the line is to then move with direct relationships with farmers.
Well, Nature's Clip, that's sort of at the heart of our products. So that's a material system that we designed that, you can mould it and shape it and colour into any kind of soft or rigid form. So it just allows you to do something that's quite different to what traditionally you could do with wool. Sort of stepping away from those traditional, or those, sort of carpets and textiles, and into a space that allows you to really push the boundaries of what's possible with wool. Outside of the nursery, we I guess collabing with others and looking for other opportunities where we can use wool and use this material system to create new and exciting products. One or a couple of those products. One, we've been looking at developing some bubble wrap. We've got a sort of this beautiful design to wrap bottles. It looks like bubble wrap. It's made out of wool. It's natural, renewable, sustainable. And then we have other opportunities with creating some lighting, some collabs that we're doing with some others around light design. And again, using that material flexibility, we can create unusual shapes or thicknesses or cuts into that material that can actually create quite beautiful and original product. Yeah. Marketing and that brand story really lets us tell the renewable story of the products, where it's come from, and show the sort of the fun nature of it. They really talk to the sort of bright, bold tactility of it all, and kind of capture a bit of imagination. Being in a digital space, it's the only way we can really do that. At the moment, we don't have physical retail stores, so we're using that space to kind of do that in quite an engaging, fun way, really. We were lucky enough to pick up recently some awards at the Best Awards in both sustainable and product categories. I picked up the Purple Pin, which was the overall product design award for the top product for that year. It's pretty amazing to get those sort of accolades, and certainly gives you a bit of confidence that you're on the right track to making and producing a product that people really love.
Thanks, New Zealand On Air.